Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and with the next set coming out very shortly, what a great time to build up a little bit of in-store credit by sending in some cards on a buy list somewhere, or selling them on eBay or TCG Player, Card Shark, wherever. So what a perfect time to bring back one of my most popular series, the basically unofficially called You Might Have Money in Your Trade Binder series. AKA What's Spiked Lately, because a lot of cards like to go from like 50 cents to $5, and you might not have quite caught that if you didn't shop for them lately. So unfortunately, not a lot of changes because we don't have a whole lot of stuff out for spoilers for the next set yet. I expect this to change significantly in the next week. But there were a handful of cards that will absolutely shock you. I think some of them went 10 to 1, so yikes. First up, we got Hostage Taker. This one went from about $3 to $5, and it kind of peaked at the end of March, so it's not that big of a surprise. This is caught up in the popularity of Dimir and Dimir color mix decks, especially when you add white lately. They're really annoying, absolutely toxic. The whole entire deck is control, and the win con is Teferi. It's just disgusting. It makes me sick just thinking about it. But good news, Hostage Taker is around $5 right now, 5.5 on some sites, and Thief of Sanity went up a little bit too. That's not absolutely crucial to the deck. Some people throw it in and think it went up like $1. Well, those are the two big Dimir winners, where if you have them sitting around, you can get some serious in-store credit for them. Next up, literally the least surprising one on this list. It started going up around March 8th. I wonder why. It's the Immortal Son. Now, at the beginning of the year, let me remind you guys, this was a $7 card. I mean, everybody knew, like, yeah, it's good, but it doesn't really specifically do anything. It does kind of everything, and it helps you out. Cool, I'd run it in a draft, but no deck really needed it. And then like Dominaria came out, it jumped up. Some people put it in some stuff. $15 card. Kind of slipped down. Corset didn't do anything to it. And then, I don't know, honestly, GRN didn't do much to it either. Shortly after, it jumped up to about 20 and then kind of declined. Ravnica Legion saw absolutely nothing. It hit about $15 at one point, like midway through March. And then within about 2 days of them announcing that the next set has 36 Planeswalkers in it, boom, $30 card. I mean, it's been $30 ever since. It is not budging at all. So if somehow you still have an Immortal Son sitting around, or you want to rip apart a deck, I mean, you could sit on it because, hello, 36 Planeswalkers. But if you're sure you don't need it, you could trade one of these in to build an entire low-end deck. I mean, this is some money. Next up, Kaya, or Zov Usurper. This one's fairly recent. I mean, she was $5 at one time, and then around February, she shot up to about $8. I guess people found something to put her in. My guess is White-Black Afterlife, but I'm not 100% sure. And just recently, we're talking literally in the last 3 days, she has shot up to $15. I honestly don't know why. It probably has something to do with really, really good white and black cards that were spoiled so far, but I'm not sure. Either way, she's going up. In fact, she's like actively going up. You might want to wait a day or two to sell her if you got some. I'm sitting on like 8 of her because after she was released, boy, the buy list was like $1.50 for her. I was thinking, okay, I'll just keep her for that. Next up, we're going a little bit off the rails with this one. It's Mycosynth Lattice, which was, of course, last printed in Battle Bond for absolutely no logical lore-related reason. Right around April 1st, April 2nd, it shot up from a $9.99 card, which is where it had been forever, to a $40 card overnight. Now, it fell a little bit because people are digging up their old copies, but yeah, it's still around $33. The explanation that I heard when I looked into this was that it works perfectly with the newly announced Karn. It's basically like an absolute shutdown for certain decks. I think it's far-fetched. I mean, this costs 6 and he costs 4. I don't know about that. Which is why if you have one, I would recommend selling it immediately. Like, immediately. I think this card and that deck and that archetype are going nowhere. I could be wrong, but I really think they're going nowhere. I think they're making way too much out of this combo. I've went up against the Mycosynth spray painter deck, as I called it, and I wasn't impressed. I didn't think it was anything special, and that was like 2 years ago. So it just, the archetype isn't there, the deck isn't there, but who knows? I could be wrong. Next up, we're still going a little bit off the rails, but this was in I think a couple recent reprint sets, so you might have some if you've been playing in the last like year and a half. It's Pyromancer Ascension. I really think they should ban this because they've banned Storm in the past, and it's still a thing. It's a gimmicky, stupid all-in combo, and I hate it. Well, somebody's playing some glass cannon trash because right as of, boy, like 2 days ago, it looks like, the card hit $7 out of nowhere, and it was like $1.50. I mean, I even saw it below $1 on some sites. So gee, that's like 700% if you look at the right market. So yeah, if you have any version of these, dump it off. I don't know why this went up, and I don't care. Oh, I just checked. It was last printed in MM3. I thought it was printed again after that. Okay, whatever. You still might have one. Next up, a card that just went crazy, Smothering Tithe. I guess people finally just found out that that's a good card. Well, the slowest horse finally crosses the line. Just kidding. As much as it pisses me off that people never recognize good cards for what they are, at least not in a reasonable amount of time typically, you need a card to be good, and then you need a deck to put it in. Remember at least 3 of the Gear Hulks where everybody's like, all 3 of them are just broken, overpowered garbage, and then all of a sudden 2 of them tank and hit like $4, and people say, oh, you were wrong, ha ha ha, and then they spike up to like $38 because somebody found a deck to put them in, and then they crash because that deck goes out of popularity. Oh, and then they spike up like crazy again. Well, the card's text didn't change. They always were broken, overpowered trash, it's just not all of them immediately went into a deck. So this, I assume, just went into a deck. I don't know which one, and honestly, I don't care. I played against it on Arena. I'm still sitting on about 16 copies of it, and guess what? I'm going to cash in because they're about $10 a piece. What fitting artwork. Ka-ching. And finally, the last one is Sorceress Spyglass. I did forget to mention this in the last video. It did kind of spike in, June of 2018, actually. I think that's around when Brawl was getting pretty hot, and then they banned it, by the way, so that was fun. And it's been falling ever since, but as of the middle of March, maybe beginning of March, it started creeping up from like $1.50, and now it's sitting at about $2.60, and that's because obviously it shuts down individual planeswalkers. It's going to be perfect for the next set. It's dirt cheap, it's colorless, you can throw it in anything. I mean, yeah, why not? Plus, you get a spy on their hand. Hand spies are huge. So, I mean, if you're going to run the Immortal Son, you might as well run Immortal Son Jr., which is what this is. So, unfortunately, that's about it for giant upward movements lately in Standard. A lot of the big staples have been falling because people are starting to panic and worry that they won't be popular when the next set drops because the next set is so powerful that it's going to shake everything up, hopefully. I don't think anything's going to unseat Esper Control. And Red Rush, yeah, not until they ban something. Both of those decks are very unfriendly to Planeswalkers, so they better get a clue and ban something from each of them if they want anybody to buy the next set. But I think regardless, they're going to make money on non-standard formats with the next set. I think the Commander players and the Modern players have already got their wallets out, so, I mean, it won't be disastrous, but they really should if they were smart. Plus, those decks are obnoxious. I mean, people are quitting Magic over them and stopping playing Arena, so, you know. Way past time to do something about it, Wizards. So anyway, hopefully you guys are frantically looking through your trade binders and card boxes right now for some of these absolute gems. Hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, leave a big ol' like, and if it didn't, I mean, oh well, leave a like anyway, because better luck next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.